It's the season finale, the final day of the 2023 NASCAR Wheel and Euro Series, and both the 2023 EuroNASCAR 2 and EuroNASCAR Pro titles are on the line. They hang in the balance here in front of thousands at the iconic Circuit Zolder. 2 races in store. The weather radar is giving away no secrets either. It's been a difficult weekend from that perspective around a circuit that offers up many challenges for our drivers.
I'm here now with Jill Linster, the winner of EuroNASCAR 2 Final 1 here at Circuit Zolder, and we're missing something. A proper winner's interview for the first time. I'm really sorry we're not in victory lane, but still, your first win in NASCAR, how is it?
Yeah, that's for sure amazing. I had the feeling already yesterday, so actually I felt that could be a good result for us. And yeah, very happy right now.
Just talk us through the race. You saw the incident, you had a great battle with Patrick Schober. How intense was it for yourself?
Yeah, actually very intense. Like having someone in the back here on the track, it's you feel the pressure. There are so many places where you can overtake. So yeah, you have to change a little bit the lines, and for sure the pressure here was a little higher than on other tracks.
Right now, you're not 4th anymore in the championship, you're 3rd, and it's just a couple of points to maybe become the champion. Do you think about this?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think if I can get it, I will take it. Yeah, it's not. We are really not far away now to win the championship.
But what does it take?
A win, for sure. I have to get the next win. And then, yeah, it's also a little bit the competition that needs to have some good fights.
Paul Giffreau once again at the sharp end of the order for this race. He got the fastest lap on a Saturday. That grants him pole position for Sunday. He's 10 points off of that man Vladimiros Tsiotsis. And it's 80 points for a win, 70 for second place. If they ended up tied with Giffreau finishing first and Tsiotsis in second place, that would actually still hand the title to Tsiotsis on countback. So Giffreau needs to win, and he needs to rely on Tsiotsis finishing 3rd or lower. That's before you get into the other title contenders, including Jill Linster. But we're underway and racing. Paul Giffreau is your leader. The runner-up currently in the championship with Martin Dubeck, a former EuroNASCAR 2 champion, right there with him. Across the dirt and the grass goes Thomas Dombrowski, I think that was, in the 66 car. Just about everybody, though, fairly clean through the first couple of corners, and Paul Giffreau has got the start he needs. It's going perfectly to this point for Paul Giffreau. As it stands, if we finish now, and we're a long way from the finish, it would be Paul Giffreau's title. Both he and RDV Competition have worked immensely hard this season to head to the top of EuroNASCAR 2 and indeed EuroNASCAR Pro. And you saw there, almost out of the top 10 even, Vladimiros Tsiotsis. Tsiotsis starting down the order. He's got a lot of work to do to try and secure himself this title. For Alberto Nasca running there in 5th place, it's all but an impossibility now. He'd need misfortune for Linster. He'd need misfortune for Tsiotsis and indeed for Paul Giffreau. Giffreau, though, with a lead at the moment. Martin Dubeck holding on to that 2nd place. Of course, he's really just focusing on the race. He's not a factor in title contention, and he's got every right to be there in 2nd. He's got every right to get the elbows out, and if he does do that, that grants Paul Giffreau a little bit of a favour, builds him a cushion if they start fighting for 2nd place. And look at Tsiotsis well down the pack. He's got so much work to do. It doesn't seem as though that Academy Alex Caffey Motorsport car is quite where it needs to be this weekend. In both categories, he's struggled. He's been there on the fringes of the top 10. He currently sits in what looks to be 10th place. Claudio Remeggio Capelli and Melvin de Groot fighting there as well. And those two are fighting potentially for Legend Trophy honours. Meanwhile, you see that the 55 car in at the hands of Fabrizio Armetta, just being a little bit wide there in the battle for 8th position, just keeping everyone else at bay. And while he's doing that, that means that Tsiotsis is dropping off the leading train. Claudio Capelli, the last carriage in that leading train. Patrick Schauber to the inside here of Gilles Linster. This isn't what Linster needs. He can't afford to lose positions in this race. You heard him say it to André Wiegold. It is effectively win or bust for his title aspirations. And Patrick Schauber gets through into third place. That is a big moment in the title race, potentially. Linster doesn't quite look like he's got the pace of Paul Giffreau on this Sunday morning either. But falling behind another car only cements the fact that his title aspirations are falling by the wayside for Alberto Nasca after his collision yesterday with Paul Giffreau that sent him a lap down and spinning into the gravel. I think this race now is more than anything just for his own pride. Meanwhile, we ride on board with the returning Eric de Doncker in the 99 promotion car. He's got Paolo Valeri just ahead of him. This is the battle for 14th place. That's a big dive. That was an excessive dive. Eric de Doncker, well, that's unfortunate. He and Paolo Valeri end up in the gravel. De Doncker wasn't really that far back. Maybe he should have been granted a bit more space, but regardless of how you read that incident, both cars in the gravel, that necessitates a full course yellow, but not a very long one. Back to green flag conditions. Cloud cover becoming more and more evident around the circuit as well. Race control suggested there could be rain before the end of the race. You see there Claudio Capelli struggling ahead of Vladimiros Tsiotsis. Is this because the rain is coming? Everybody is on slick tyres, so if the rain does arrive in earnest, that's going to be hugely dramatic for everybody else. Tsiotsis in the number 5 car. Oh, goodness me, Alberto Nasca just running out onto the gravel, as did Claudio Capelli. So Tsiotsis gets through, makes up a position, and you can see the rain on the lens, and you can see that Claudio Capelli, who's very good in the rain, isn't liking to tackle it on slick tyres. And with that mistake, he could have just lost the Legend Trophy to Melvin de Groot definitively as well. The Italian who has worked so hard this season. I think that error, if he continues to fall through the order, may signal the end of his Legend Trophy title campaign up against Melvin de Groot. You can see how much NASCAR is struggling as well. He's got Vladimiros Tsiotsis just behind him at the moment. Lick of flame there from the 54 Cal Racing car. Tsiotsis has been making up places, but again, he needs to be second to secure the championship if Giffreau wins. This is only a battle for 6th place. He gets past Nasca. It's still not going to be enough for Vladimiros Tsiotsis. Tsiotsis is fighting hard here. However, it does appear, as we head towards the conclusion of this race, that Paul Giffreau has done enough. Right now, he's got a finger on the trophy. It is Paul Giffreau with a comfortable lead. You can see that it's getting wetter and wetter around the circuit. Oh, just bouncing a little bit there as well. Paul Giffreau. Giffreau having to really test the limits on these slick tyres. He needs to stay on track. He needs to win the race. And right now, it looks like that's what he's going to do. Paul Giffreau is just half a lap away from the championship here. 10-point deficit between himself and Tsiotsis coming into this race. Tsiotsis, the championship leader. But Tsiotsis is going to lose something in the region of 16, 18 points to Paul Giffreau. And that's going to be enough for Giffreau to be champion. Alberto Nasca stopped. I believe he may have had a collision with someone further back in the pack, and unfortunately Nasca's season ends in disappointment and retirement. But Paul Giffreau in the number 3 car is tentatively making his way around Zolder for the final time. There is Nasca's car. What a dramatic and disappointing final weekend of the season for Alberto Nasca. Paul Giffreau, however, has just one more chicane. And as he picks up the throttle this time onto the main straight, he sees the checkered flag. And it's victory for Paul Giffreau at the Circuit Zolder. He takes the race win. He takes the EuroNASCAR 2 champion. He brings championship glory back to RDV competition. And a fresh batch of donuts baked by the Frenchman. Championship glory to Giffreau.
Giffreau, you made it. You did it. You are the EuroNASCAR 2 2023 champion.
It's unbelievable. When you look at Valencia, changing team, a new ambition, and yeah, it's just there. It's unbelievable, and yeah, I will take some time to say to myself that I'm a European champion. For this time, it's a bit hard, but with all the guys that went to support me, it's just amazing to do that this weekend.
In the last laps, the rain was coming down, you were on slick tires. Just tell me how tough it was to keep this car on track.
It was really, really tough, and yeah, I had to use the karting ideal line with the wet tire, so I was braking at the inside, going at the outside at the apex, and just to not lose this car because Dubek was fast behind, so if I was doing a mistake, he was in front and I will not be champion, so it was the 5 hardest lap of my life, and we made it.
It's Paul Giffreau, the new champion.
There you go, by 4 points, he beats Vladimiros Tsiotsis, who ended up finishing 4th in the race. In the championship, though, it's Giffreau that wins it from Tsiotsis from Leinster, who managed to get past Alberto Nasca in the standings at the end. A few issues with popping corks, but otherwise all 3 drivers had a fabulous racing season. And Jack Davidson ends up as the rookie trophy champion after a real strong conclusion to his season. Melvin de Groot did indeed win the Legend Trophy Championship despite the efforts of Claudio Remeggio Capelli. And the Lady Trophy classification falls to Ariana Casoli. The season finale of EuroNASCAR Pro then, and a lot at stake for everyone, including new championship leader Luca Lasser, who has the advantage by just 1 point.
I'm here now with the new EuroNASCAR Pro Championship leader, Luca Lasser. What a crazy race yesterday, right?
Yeah, it was a good race. I think I will have this race on my top 6. So, but it was yesterday, André. So yesterday is the past. Today it will be another story.
So tell me about today, the championship battle. You're leading, but it's like a playoff race in the US. If you win, you're in, but it's the same for Vittorio Guerrelli and Gianmarco. If they win, they're the champion.
Yeah, it's not finished until the checkered flag. And so we need just to continue to work with the same spirit, with the same approach, and to count all the points at the end.
All right, thank you so much and good luck.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Luca Lasser starting from pole position by virtue of gaining the fastest lap on Saturday, so he is best placed to secure the championship, of course, with 80 points for a race win and 70 for second. It then descends in 2s from there. For Gianmarco Ercoli, though, he's got a huge task at hand. Look at that. He's on the 9th row of the grid in 17th place. Vittorio Guerrelli, the other championship contender who would also secure the championship with a race win, he starts from 5th place. So right now, it looks as though Lasser's main competition will be that number 72 car in P5. The race has begun here under safety car conditions. As you can see, it is wet. Everybody is on wet tyres. It's going to be a very treacherous conclusion to the season then. And there you see Guerrelli just warming up the tyres, but he loses the rear. Vittorio Guerrelli loses the rear and he spins the car. Because this is under safety car conditions and the race has formally begun, he's not going to be able to regain his place in the queue. Vittorio Guerrelli, who was going to start from row 3, is instead going to have to work his way from last. This is a huge development and it changes the race for Luca Lasser as well. Victory is no longer critical for our championship leader. The green flags are out and we are racing for the first time in EuroNASCAR Pro on the championship deciding day. Downhauer there around the outside of Vladimiros Siortsis. He's trying to go to the inside of Hazeman. Siortsis is there on the outside as well. 3 wide between them. I think that's a bit of a snapshot of EuroNASCAR Christmas future with those 3 youngsters. But it is Downhauer that gets through into second place. Tobias Downhauer for promotion, who became the first ever German winner of any NASCAR-sanctioned motor race at Oschersleben last month at a German circuit with a German team. He would love to secure another victory in Belgium. Luca Leclerc at the sharp end of the order, and you'll note he doesn't have his wipers on because he doesn't have the spray to contend with. Everybody else does, though. There is Ercoli going through shots in the 54. He's not really gained much, and Vittorio Garelli, well, he's up 2 spots, but he's got a lot of work to do. For Leclerc, victory is no longer mandatory, as long as Garelli and Ercoli don't have an absolute barnstormer. And just seeing them through the haze of the mist there, I think actually, yeah, Garelli has dropped a position again. He finds himself sandwiched between the 2 Vict Motorsport cars of Dario Casso and Mario Ercoli, the 16-year-old little brother to Jan Marco on his first appearance in the Pro Series. Downhauer there with a slightly faulty windscreen wiper, but that's not stopping him. He goes to the inside. He gets himself into the race lead. It is Tobias Downhauer into the lead. Oh, but trying to put the power down on the painted curbs is never a great idea. Can Leclerc maybe try and carry the speed around the outside? I don't think he's going to be able to do it. No, Tobias Downhauer up into the lead, side by side between Hazemans and Siortsis further back. Siortsis has got himself into 3rd position then. But Tobias Downhauer, your new race leader, Luca Leclerc, just needs to score good points towards the sharp end of the order. He does, however, have to be cognizant of the process, or of the progress, I should say, of the number 54 car, because, of course, there are 8 bonus points here for most positions gained. It's usually 4 bonus points for that in a EuroNASCAR race, but with the EuroNASCAR Finals format, that is doubled, so he will grant himself 8 additional points if he can gain more places than anybody else. He's already up from 17th to 14th, and is now trying to make a move for P13 on Romagnoli. He's got the inside line at Boulderberg and gets through. So what Leclerc can't afford to do is fall down the order too far. Everybody looking for track space. You see there the 3F Racing car in amongst it. And, of course, is Ryan Vargas. He's just behind Sebastian Blakemolen at the moment with Ulysse Delso behind him. Dubek in the 7 car under pressure here from Gianmarco Ercoli. Ercoli to the inside for 12th place. And he manages to get past the number 7 car. Bouncing over the curbs then is Jimmy Ercoli. Oh, and a car off in the back of shot. Meanwhile, Ercoli trying to make his way past Delso, and, well, it was certainly a physical move on Ulysse Delso. And I think Sebastian Blakemolen stuck in the gravel. He wasn't the car that went off, I don't think. They're falling like flies at the moment. That's turn 1 where Sebastian Blakemolen has come to a halt. All course yellow conditions then, and look at the lead that Tobias Downhauer has. Tobias Downhauer has absolutely driven away from the field. Currently a lead of something like 30 seconds at this juncture of the race. Downhauer at the front has just disappeared away from Leclerc. However, as it stands, Leclerc is doing enough to secure the championship, but he can't afford to get into it with the likes of Giorgio Maggi. Maggi, who of course is hungry for success here at the conclusion of his season. Liam Hazemans has gotten part, or is just behind as well, so this is the battle for second place. Leclerc, Maggi, and then Hazemans in P4. Leclerc is fine with second place at the moment. Going defensive into the Villeneuve chicane. Giorgio Maggi lurking in the background just behind Lucas Leclerc. But Some lap traffic up ahead. One of the Vict Motorsport cars, I believe that's Mario Urkeli. Towards Boulderberg comes Leclerc, still defending from Maggi. Oh, but contact! Leclerc sent into a spin by Mario Urkeli. The younger brother to Gianmarco Urkeli there. With intent or not, there's no denying that there was contact between the two of them. Luca Leclerc with huge damage on the front, and he's just ahead of Gianmarco Urkeli. The calculations are being made right now. And as it stands, Urkeli is owed the 8 bonus points for most positions gained. And with him just behind Luca Leclerc, provisionally, we understand that Gianmarco Urkeli would take the championship by a singular point. If things finish as they are, that's the situation. So Leclerc in contact there with Mario Urkeli, and it may well have handed Gianmarco Urkeli the championship by a single point if nothing changes here. Leclerc needs to try and close in on Paul Giffreau, who's just ahead of him. Dauenhauer, with no one anywhere near him, crosses the line to secure the race win. That's going to be over 45 seconds clear of the rest of the field. Luca Leclerc, though, is going to finish quite a way down the order behind the number 3 of Giffreau. Giffreau, one of a few drivers with penalties as well, so the order is going to shuffle somewhat. Giorgio Maggi also with a penalty. That means that Hasemans wins, and Anthony Kumpen has a penalty, so Fabrizio Armetta rounds out the overall podium. It's delight for Tobias Dauenhauer. But what about the championship? We'll get to that in a minute.
What an amazing race for you. You mastered the rain.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the rain, and the car feels just amazing. It was a fight for us because we had a crash in the N2 race, and my team managed to fix it. My team managed to fix the car 10 minutes before the race starts. So many thanks to the team. Amazing car, and I love these conditions, and just amazing to see such a lot of fans here, and really happy to end the season like this.
And we await news. We understand there are investigations ongoing, potentially to Luca Leclerc, and the maths has been submitted through to the team. Gianmarco Urkeli is the champion. He's officially declared the 2023 EuroNASCAR Pro Champ.
Just tell me what's going through your head right now.
Yeah, it's incredible. After yesterday, I think it's finished, but the team, no, it's finished tomorrow. I don't think it's finished because it's finished only tomorrow. Don't think nothing, think only to push hard. The air condition of Zolder, me and the car, a lot of yesterday. But before the start of the rescue, Corrado, Luca and all the team arrived to me. Jimmy, fun drive, only fun drive. Don't think nothing, fun drive. And we're lucky because today I'm lucky man. I arrive my first victory in the pro category. For me, it's much important. It's very important for me.
Gianmarco Urkeli achieves a dream then, and Luca Leclerc ends up 15 points off him in the championship as he received a 10-second penalty for not respecting the starting procedure. So even with the drama between himself and Mario Urkeli, it seemed as though Leclerc would have lost the championship anyway because of his penalty. But none of that matters to Gianmarco Urkeli. He is the EuroNASCAR Pro Champion. Junior Trophy Championship ends up going to Liam Hasemans. And Fabrizio Armetta, rounding out the season with an overall podium, takes it in the Challengers. But it is over for 2023. After drama, thrills and spills, our two champions in EuroNASCAR 2, Paul Giffreau. In EuroNASCAR Pro, Gianmarco Urkeli is now your 2023 champion. He will celebrate, as will all of our champions, before coming back for more in 2024.